Hi guys, Caller here, bringing you Game 2 of Air Force ACE versus Hanbit Stars, and we have here none other than Slayer's Boxer playing against a Zerg player called Zero. And I have to say, Boxer has got to be an overwhelming favorite here against Zero. I just looked up Zero's stats, and we see him on the right. He is 14% against Terran. He's 1 win and 6 losses. So if Boxer can't pull this off, I'm just going to have to blame it on whatever food he's being fed at the Air Force or something, or vertigo, or I don't know, piloting too many air sorties over North Korea or something, because Boxer's got to win this. I really hope he doesn't decide to go for a really high-risk strategy, like some kind of bunker rush or SCV rush or something, against a guy like this who's probably shaking in his seat here against fighting a Terran player like Boxer. I think a standard game would work out very well, and the map is Wuthering Heights, which I feel does favor Terran quite a lot, because it is you can get 2 expansions very easily inside of your base, a mineral only and a natural expansion, and you have all those ledges for you to land things on in the center to siege up tanks and prevent the Zerg from gaining any kind of map control. And yeah, so I'm excited about this Boxer versus Zero. I haven't seen Boxer fight a Zerg player in forever. I think I remember him playing against Daezang a while ago. I think that was last season. And I don't. In the Pro League, generally, he's been just sent to play against Terran players, like I said in the last game. Daezang, by the way, really impressed me with a really good 2 gateway rush in the last game, doing a lot of damage and following up with perfect timing just when Free was going for some tech, getting his robotics facility, going for a 3-gate Dragoon push and destroying him. And we have here, by the way, Zero spawning at the 7 o'clock position in orange, and we have Boxer spawning at the 5 o'clock position in white. And it looks like Boxer is going to be building something here. Looks like it's just a supply depot, and looks like he is going to be blocking his main in, or at least creating a narrower choke at the natural expansion site. And this is what I meant about Wuthering Heights. You really can pick up your natural quite easily. Oh, I'm sorry, the one with, it doesn't have 2 expansions inside your base. I'm thinking about Andromeda. Wuthering Heights does have the central expansions, though, which do have a really good position for Terran players. But I still think this map does favor Terran a little bit. It looks like, actually, Free's gone for a overpool here. No, he's gone for a 12 pool, rather. So he's going spawning pool first. It could signify that he's worried about Boxer going for a rush of some sort. Of course, Boxer has been just cheesing people left and right ever since he's gotten to the Air Force. It's a little sad, actually, to see him going for that. I think it is, unfortunately, due to his lack of practice. He feels that what remains best in his game is his micro at the early parts, and perhaps not his macro, which just takes up so much time to practice for. I mean, just being able to control, something like 100 units, or if, for Terran, I guess it's something like 80 or 90 units at once, is just very difficult, and you really need to keep up your constant practice, and I'm sure he doesn't have that, considering that he has to be in a military organization. Boxer looks like he's going to be setting up his command center quite early here, not even waiting for his first barracks to finish, and looks like he is going to set this up, so a very fast 1 racks into command center. But I think it's possible, given the architecture of this map, because you can still then in front of your natural expansion quite easily. It looks like Zergling's being produced, though, for Zero, and if Zero can get there quickly, he might be able to do some damage. But it looks like that is a complete wall in there, so like I said, Boxer has walled in complete, and these Zerglings won't be effective at all, and I feel that Boxer is going to take a large economic lead here by going for this fast expansion. I'm really happy to see him going for this macro opening. I think there might be a slit in between those supply depots where 1 Zergling can get through, though, so Boxer does need to get a couple of Marines there to protect himself. And Zero, going for the 12 pool, will have his hatchery done a little bit later, and just will be a little bit more economically behind, especially behind a Terran fast expand like this. It looks like he's going to build his 3rd hatchery within his base. In fact, after seeing this kind of fast expand from Terran, I expect a lot of Zergs, like for example Daezang, would just gone straight into a 2nd expansion of their own, building their 3rd hatchery at a 2nd expansion point. But it looks like Zero's going to take a much more conservative approach. I don't think this is going to work out for him, though, because really against a player like Boxer, you need to be aggressive in your macro. Boxer setting up his academy now, and he probably will be getting 1 more barracks, 2 more barracks coming up really soon, and start building some Medic Marine here. We'll see what tech Zero decides to go for. He might go for some kind of a lurker tech, actually. I think that might be a good idea here. I mean, just to throw a Boxer off, I feel that a lot of Zerg players just always go for Mulisks, and it's just a constant sort of just using Mulisk. And Boxer looks like he's almost on an exercise bike or something, just looking so pumped, and the crowd's cheering because Boxer just, just looking really sharp, looking really ready. And Boxer managing to get an SCV, and poor play from Zero. But honestly, what do you expect from a guy who's 1-6 in the Pro League so far, and he's facing Boxer? It's just. He's gonna need a miracle to win, I have to say. Boxer now is gonna spot the lair going up, and the gas was put up quite late there by Zero, so he's not gonna have the gas to go for lurkers. He's definitely gonna have to go for Mulisks, which will allow him a little more time to build up his gas reserves. So Boxer is gonna take quite an economic lead here in the beginning of this game, and just complete side note, but if you guys have been paying attention to news, I'm sure you've heard about the cyclone in Myanmar, and you've heard about the earthquake today. I think there's a large earthquake in western China today. Really, I hope you guys are paying attention, and I just hope if you have some extra money or some resources, you should really donate to these disasters, because really a lot of people are suffering over there, and really, most of us probably are listening from the Western world, just being a little presumptive there, and we just have so many more resources than they do in terms of things that we throw away every day, and things we just take for granted every day. So in a natural disaster like this, where money and aid could actually mean the difference between life and death, I think it's imperative to go and donate money. I just did that on Google, by the way. They have a link to the Red Cross, so quite easy to do, and if you're over 18, I do suggest you do it. Anyway, back to the StarCraft. It looks like now Zero's mining from 2 gases right now, and he is going for his Spire, so a very standard build here, although he did go for 12 hatchery first. I don't think it's going to be that effective, though. He has got 2 sunken colonies ready to be morphed, and it looks like Boxer is pushing out with a small group of medic marines here, perhaps thinking of doing a sunken break, or just putting some more pressure on his opponent. Looks like a factory going up for Boxer also, and I'm sure Boxer will be expecting Mulisk pretty soon. He's got to get a scan off inside the base, and looks like actually Boxer is going to surround this Overlord and using his barracks to spot for him. He's going to pick this Overlord off. Nice work there from Boxer, just taking every advantage he can get. Great play there. It looks like Zoro's going to try to bring a couple of Zerglings in, but he's going to have no luck there. So that isn't a complete seal, by the way, so I guess you can't get a complete seal at your front door in this map, but that's okay, because Boxer does have the necessary medic marines now. It looks like he's getting probably +1 attack also. Does have a couple of idle SCVs. I feel like he should be using them, and if he had more practice, he perhaps would have noticed them, or just, I don't know, his APM would have been a little faster. But he does have 3 or 4 idle SCVs. Looks like one of them might be going for building something, a starport perhaps, and going straight for a science facility, or perhaps just building a turret. Actually, I think he's going to actually just set up turrets around his base here, just to prepare himself for the incoming Mulisks. Meanwhile, still a bunch of Zerglings in front of his base. Boxer hasn't been able to move out, unfortunately, to go for a timing attack of any sort, or to pressure the Zerg player. So now the Zerg player has gotten to Mulisks unharassed, and I feel the Zerg player has actually come closer to evening up the game so far against Boxer. Boxer now is going to have to face these Mulisks. Looks like about 8 or 9 Mulisks are going to come out from the eggs, and they're going to come and try to do some harass here on Boxer. Boxer seems quite well prepared, though. His turrets are going to get done before the Mulisks arrive, and they seem like they will be able to take care of them. Mulisk is trying to come in here, but Boxer's got a lot of turrets, actually, and they're well positioned on a perimeter around his base. Now the Zero is trying to go for his expansion, another expansion at the 11 o'clock position. Very standard cookie cutter Zerg here, not very impressive so far. Hydra's Den now going up, now he's going to get some lurkers. Terran versus Zerg is my favorite lineup, so usually I do find whatever happens is exciting, but sometimes it does, even Terran versus Zerg gets a little bit boring after a while, just because, especially with an uninspiring Zerg, you just see the same thing over and over again, especially if they have bad late game control, then it's just not exciting. But yeah, it looks like Boxer has +1 weapons for his infantry. This player trying to go in for another harass here. Looks like he's going to pick off 1 turret. No, he doesn't even pick off a turret there. Really poor Mulisk harass so far. Boxer completely unharassed, and once he gets the first science vessel out, I think he's going to go out for his first initial push and probably hunt down the third expansion, the second expansion that the Zero has put down, the Zerg player has put down. And yeah, now Zero trying to float him some Mulisk. He's going to get in behind a couple of these SCVs here, and he's actually picking off a number of SCVs. Looks like 5 SCVs down. He did find a hole, but he is going to lose a lot of Mulisks flying away from that area. His Mulisk harass is going to be over right now, because he is going to probably have to switch to Lurkers right now to stop the Terran player from pushing out successfully. And looks like he's transferred some drones across the map, and now the impetus is on Boxer to move out. And the momentum will be switching to him. It looks like he's going to do just that with his Marines here. And looks like he's going to catch a couple of more Mulisks. Wow, wiping out 3 Mulisks there. The +1 attack